Hi, everybody. It's MattHawes of The Happy Show, and I'm doing a video today about Tommy Wiseau, the guy who is known for being the director and writer of one of the worst movies of all time, The Room. Now, I had become a fan of The Room many years ago now. Um, I think it was around 2010 or so, back in 2010, a few years after The Room had been released, and at the time it was especially around 2010, and I think it was really starting to get more into the public consciousness. A lot more people were starting to talk about it. Entertainment Weekly had an article about it and such. So um, I ended up watching The Room and enjoying it for the same reason, ironically, that in the ironic sense that everybody seems to enjoy it for the most part. There might be somebody out there who sincerely enjoys it and thinks it's a good film on its own merits, but most of us do so even though it's lovingly, we do it so because it gives us a kind of ironic sense of humor, thrill or whatever. So anyway, had a chance in 2014 to go see Tommy Wiseau's The Room at the Music Box Theater in Chicago, Illinois. That was during a time I made a trip there for a vacation, basically, and that was one of the things I definitely was excited and wanted to go see, especially because Tommy Wiseau was going to be at that screening, and they were going to do a preview of his then new series called The Neighbors. They were doing a preview of that, and he was going to do a Q&A. So this is some scenes. I'm just going to show little parts of this, but this is footage from that night.
Welcome to the Music Box Theater. My name is Steve Procopi. I'm the Chicago editor for Ain't It Cool News. Thank you guys for coming out. So late on a school night to see the best movie ever made.
Now let me point out. This is a video footage I took. Okay, so it's my video, and it's on this channel for MattHawes. If you're watching this on YouTube, on the MattHawes channel on YouTube, and so you can watch it in full there. It's, as you may be able to see from this screen cap, it's 20, almost 22 minutes long, and I'm not playing the whole thing here. I just wanted you to get an idea of what it was like that night. Now, this guy, of course, on stage with from Ain't It Cool News is getting ready to introduce Tommy. I haven't looked up Ain't It Cool News in a long time. I'm not even sure if it still exists. Harry Knowles, the guy who ran the site, I see him actually on a Golden Age comic book forum that's on Facebook. So I know Harry's still around, and his father, I think, is still on there too. But anyway, that's neither here nor there, except for just mentioning, since I thought about Ain't It Cool News here. Anyway, I'll just skip ahead a little bit with Tommy.
So you might want to let Tommy explain what you're about.
Well,
Refer to the room, but you can have fun with it. So say whatever you want. Also, a 2-star of the neighbors that will be introducing doing Q&A. That's it. So let's go for the neighbors.
okay, so right there, Tommy's introducing the sneak preview of The Neighbors. And so what happens is I turn off my camera at the time. I didn't even try to film it because, of course, his copyrighted material, so I wasn't going to record that, and I probably would have been told to stop if I had been seen filming it. So I shut that off, and then I recommence filming once it's ended. And this is right after it's ended. See, it was a clean cut. Looks like Tommy just gets right back on stage.
What's the story here? So the person who dressed up as in the red dress, can you step forward to the stage? And people who bought the jacket, the Love is Blind, you can go on the stage. We have a surprise for you. So.
Anyway, I wanted to just show just scenes from this. There's no particular reason for other than just give you an idea of what the Q&A was like that night, because I wanted to talk more about a documentary that was made about Tommy here in a second. but just a little bit more footage from that night at the Q&A.
Forward, like this, like this. And you guys stay here with me, okay? Okay. We can sign this stuff later, and we start a Q&A, and also we have 2 stars of the neighbors. They're sort of stars, okay? I don't know, I don't want to say sort of, but they are doing a good job. It's Andrew and this guy here. His name, what's your name? Come over here, come on the stage.
Yeah, as he says, these are 2 stars from the neighbors.
Do you want me to ask them the questions? Yeah. 2 questions for first of all, Andrew. So what do you think working on the neighbors? We'll still continue. Just 2 sentences.
It's beautiful and I love it.
That's it. What about you?
It's totally a lot of fun and go neighbors. Woo!
All right, good. We'll start a Q&A.
Okay, I'm trying to see. I'm just doing my seek here. I think he did a little bit of dancing on that stage or something, if I remember correctly. It's been a while since I've checked back on these videos. I put this up like 10 years ago. Let's see here. He cut somebody off here when they ask him a question, if I remember correctly. Let me see what it says. He says again.
Fun, okay? But it's a good question. Yes, you will see the neighbors as a feature movie too. Move on. Quick. Yes, sir.
A friend of mine raised a pretty good point about like your mysterious past and stuff like that. And I was wondering, are you familiar with DB Cooper at all?
Yeah, what happened now? I'm familiar, actually, I know I'm familiar what you're talking about, yeah.
Are you him?
No, I'm not him, are you crazy?
The guy from the audience, if you couldn't hear it clearly, just asked him if he's DB Cooper, and he says, "No, you crazy." And there he is, picking up his belt.
Oh, come over here, tattoo guy. I want to come here and say. I have a question for him. You know why I asked you some question? But come over here, come closer. Okay, move on. Next question. That's it. That's it. Just stay here.
I think this guy's a tattoo of the room,
Hey, how you doing? 2-part question.
or of Tommy from the room.
What was your? Let me go to this guy because girls are crazy about you now. Okay, hold on. Quiet, girls. Yes, I'm sorry.
What was your review of the disaster piece, and when was the last time you talked to Sarah?
Well, let's say, long story short, I support his vote 50%. Move on, next question. Yes.
Yeah, what was your favorite video game on the Tommy Wise show?
Oh, that's a good one. I cannot tell you. I take my 5th. Move on, next question.
Okay. He said it's been a while. I don't remember. Oh, okay. I see where he starts to show the tattoo. It took him a few minutes because he was answering questions.
Hang on 1 second. Okay, so show me your tattoo here. So, I never saw this. He did a very good job. So, why did you decide to actually put it? This is great. I really like it.
I got it because The Room is the greatest movie of all time and Tommy Wiseau is my hero.
Yeah,
Wonder if the guy got that tattoo removed or if it still has it. Anyway, oh, there. I think that was the dancing part, and I'm just gonna skip ahead. Okay, there we go. Nothing fancy. Oh, his belt dropped. That's right.
See, I knew someone would say that. So this is my treat for the girls. We are good sport. So let me give you. Yeah, that's the.
Okay, well, anyway, you can watch the entirety of this Q&A here on this channel. Just check out my profile page here and do a search for Tommy Wiseau, and you'll be able to uncover it. So let's see what we got here. Oh yeah, you did a search for my own channel for because I'll search out the video. I'm searching for my other YouTube channel. So anyway, so basically what happened was there was a Canadian filmmaker, and he wanted to do a documentary, and at first with the cooperation of Tommy Wiseau about Tommy and him in the making of The Room and his life and all this. I think Tommy became more uncomfortable when he realized that this documentary was meant to reveal things about his past, which he, I guess, did not want. And I think there might be other reasons, but he decided he didn't want to be part of the production anymore. He no longer was cooperating. In fact, he was actively seeking to get this where or to have the courts basically stop this film from this documentary from being removed or from being released. I'm sorry. It was a documentary called "A Room Full of," "Room Full of Spoons." If I could talk. Okay. Tommy made a video here, and this is on his YouTube channel. Tommy Wiseau presents "Shame on You" Part 3: The Reckoning, and this specifically mentions this whole deal about, well, doesn't go into detail, but it references A Room Full of Spoons. And you'll see a picture here in a second. That's a picture of the room of the movie poster for The Room and the movie poster for Room Full of Spoons with bullet holes in it. After this little bit here, you will never know the source of another man's identity. See, there's the bullet holes through that poster, which he flipped the image, I guess flipping it probably for copyright. He was worried about his own copyright uh, issues. I presume that's why he flipped it anyway, even though I don't think he would have to worry about that because I think commentary alone would have protected that. But meanwhile, he's trying to fight somebody else's uh, right to make commentary or documentary and such. I don't. He doesn't really have a valid legal stance, but this is being fought out in Canada over the copyright issue, and it has went back and forth. But as I understand it, at the time that this video is being made, that the filmmakers in Canada did win the last or latest of the court battles, but Tommy keeps appealing it and such. Maybe the documentary will be released. Now, I have not watched the doc. I've seen the documentary years ago. That's what I was going to explain here, but I have not watched it in over, well, probably about 10 years now, close to 10 years anyway. And so the filmmakers apparently, I guess they saw my video of the Q&A, the one I just showed you, because really there's no other way they would connect me to Tommy Wiseau. I'm just a fan, like a lot of us are out here, but I made that Q&A and I video and I uploaded it to YouTube, and then all of a sudden within about a year or two I get uh, contacted by the filmmaker, and he asked me if I would like to review Room Full of Spoons. And I was like, okay. Now this was, still being edited or whatever, I guess, or it just finished being edited. I mean, this thing hadn't had any release of any kind just yet, as far as I know, unless there was some kind of film, what do you call it, film festival kind of setup. But it definitely was not in mass release, no matter what. And so I agreed to it. They sent me a screener copy, which I went ahead and reviewed. And that's what this is. This is a review of that. So I'll let this play for a little bit. Hopefully the audio is where you can hear it well enough.
Hi everybody, it's me, I'm MattHawes of The Happy Show, and I'm here today with a video review of a film. It's a documentary called A Room Full of Spoons by Rock Harper of Rock Haven Pictures. This documentary has to do with the making and the story behind the infamous cult classic.
I'm going to talk over this just because I'm basically just
director
giving the same setup that I've already told you.
That
That's my picture outside of the Music Box Theater there.
Rick came across my videos in the
yeah, I'm basically just saying what I just told you. There's a picture of me with Tommy.
Whenever I went to go see
you can see this movie review also on this channel too.
How he caught wind of my channel here.
The full review.
I'm appreciative that he decided to choose me as one of the people he wanted to have review the film. It's a pretty entertaining film, especially a good one for people who are already fans of The Room. You get a lot of insight onto how it was made and get some background there on Tommy. But before I go on with a few of the positives, I want to go ahead and get out of the way some of the criticisms I have. Nothing major. There's some technical aspects that I'll address. They're really minor details, but something that I thought I'd point out anyway. There was some sound level issues I noticed, like whenever they were interviewing Scott Holmes, who played Mike. His audio in particular seemed lower than the rest of audio that was part of the film, the documentary, and it was slightly distracting. It wasn't a major thing. Also, another technical aspect is there's a few times, like one time I remember the film kind of went black for a few seconds and there was no audio or anything for a couple seconds. But, when you're watching a movie, it seems like it's taking longer than it does. And I was thinking, okay, something wrong with the computer. There was a few other times where it froze on a frame. There wasn't no sound or nothing for a second. Small little things like that, which I think might be something they would want to clean up if it's possible. But it's not anything that's going to ruin the movie for you. The documentary is still a very entertaining documentary and worthwhile. But I will say one thing: I was confused whenever I started to watch it. Is it a documentary about Tommy Wiseau? Is it a documentary about The Room, or is it a documentary about The Room? Because a lot of times Rick himself or the documentary itself seems to be the focus, the subject of the piece. And then other times, of course, most times it is Tommy, but it did make me wonder, okay, what was the real focus of this? Is it how Rick...
Yeah, that's another thing, watching this again, because I've not really watched my review of this since I put it up. Uh, but I kind of still agree with what I say here, is that the review or the documentary, I'm sorry, the documentary of The Room Full of Spoons, it does at a certain point become more just about them making the documentary about him and then the problems, I guess, with him, leaving the project and such. And that's the thing, I think they kind of lost focus of where, whoops, of where this documentary was supposed to be headed. And it does reveal things about Tommy. And let my review here play a little bit
Rick's
longer.
journey, I guess, where he finds out more information about Tommy, or is it the story of Tommy himself? In general, though, I think A Room Full of Spoons is something that the fans of The Room will absolutely adore. It's got a bunch of information in there. We get to see a bunch of different cast members. In fact, there's interviews, on-screen interviews with pretty much all the major cast members except for Tommy himself and lead actor Greg Sestero. I don't know if Greg was originally part of this and bowed out or what happened. It seemed like in the initial beginnings of this documentary that both Tommy and Greg were on board. Even without their contributions, you still get a well-rounded idea of how everything came together. Rick and his crew, they talked to different people from the crew members to co-directors, editors, to fans themselves. That kind of gives you a better idea and understanding about not only the movie itself and how it came about, but Tommy as a person. At some point in the documentary, there is discussion about how Tommy got his funds to make this film. And a woman is mentioned who helped produce the film. And her name was Chloe Litsky, I guess is her name. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. In fact, I played back the audio on the documentary, and I don't think they actually say her last name on camera, but it is written out there. And anyway, Chloe, which is this figure that was kind of mysterious herself, they say, she was the one who signed the checks for the actors and such, and she was a friend of Tommy's. She is reputedly, or may have been a financial background of film. In fact, Rick talks about, and when he narrates the movie, he talks about how his research into the background between Chloe and Tommy led him down a dark path.
Okay, I'll pick up here in a minute again. Um, it's just funny watching this now because I had forgotten all about this Chloe woman all these years. I left a comment. Actually, one thing that's kind of got me motivated to do a video about this just now is I follow the people who the two guys, Chris and Kyle, who do Back to the Sofa, which is a kind of review and commentary on pop culture and TV shows and movies and such. And the guys there, they did a video about Tommy, about the neighbors and all. So it reminded me about this situation. And on there, I commented on their video and I made mention about uh, they were wondering how Tommy got his money, and I said, well, this document kind of explained that, or at least tried to reveal some of it. And even when I wrote that, I remembered it had something to do in part with him selling jeans and such and clothing, being having a store or whatever. But I'd forgotten about the Chloe woman that is mentioned here. It's like, it's been, like I said, about 10 years since I've seen the documentary. So anyway, let me play this again here.
But yet, we're not really told what that is. It's never addressed again after a screenshot of some legal documents. He focuses on the word fraud. Is it a legal reason why he didn't go into it? Is he suggesting something there? Who knows? Maybe it's something that's a major factor for why Tommy was not happy with this film. But nothing is outwardly expressed about that. It's just, but there is some hint that something went on between Tommy and Chloe. And while I wish there was some kind of resolution within the documentary itself about the issue between Chloe and Tommy, I respect the fact that maybe there was legal reasons why he couldn't have said it. Of course, that begs the issue, why did it get brought up to begin with if they weren't going to be able to address it fully? But perhaps, I guess he was wanting to shine some light on certain details that, frankly, might explain why Tommy was not wanting to continue to work with Rick and his crew on this documentary. This is definitely something that will give you more of an appreciation if you're already appreciating the film. If you've never seen the film.
Okay, so I was purposely vague at the time about the movie, about the documentary, because again, I don't want, even now, I wouldn't want to spoil it if they do get to release it at some point. And also, unfortunately, right now I'm more vague since it has been so many years since I've seen it on details. I'd love to see it again, honestly, because I like to refresh myself on what was mentioned in that documentary. But it did, say, of course, and this is no secret, I don't think anymore, that Tommy was not from New Orleans, at least not a native of New Orleans. He, moved there and lived there for some period. But he is actually from Europe and apparently from Poland, according to the documentary. Um, it would be something I'd like to see again, like I said, and hopefully everybody who's interested to get this chance eventually. Again, I'm not quite sure on legal status. If you are watching this and have an idea or know any knowledge about it, feel free to leave that in the comments. But anyway, so this is just me revisiting that, and if you want to check out, you pretty much saw my whole review there. That was only like a 6-minute video. But if you want to double check it or watch it with better audio, because it's more muted when I'm recording like this, then you can go ahead and check it out on this channel. And of course, you can check out the whole Q&A, which is fun to watch. Um, I didn't have the best camera, but it was my first Android phone, and I was filming on that. Anyway, I think that's enough. This is almost a half-hour long video at this point, and like a lot of my videos recently, I don't want to edit it. I'm just going to finish it here in a second. Anyway, I really appreciate you watching this video, and you can do those like and subscribe and everything else, that everybody says to do when they watch these videos. And I really would appreciate if you did want to like and subscribe to videos. I don't monetize my videos, at least not at this point. Don't really have, frankly, the ongoing audience to do so. But, maybe someday, but still getting the likes, subscribes, and comments, that's always a good thing, no matter what. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you if you stick around for the next video. Yay!